Someone with one of these small Grizzly mills might be interested in this next project that I'm planning. The wrench that you tighten the collets up with on the cutter goes on that little 5/16 square knob up there on the top of the mill. There's a little better view of it. And the little wrench, I mean, it works, but of course it bumps into this housing, which you can take off, but still there's a motor in the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a knob, excuse me there, I'm going to take a knob. I made a mold die for those knobs decades ago, and of course I loaned it out to somebody. Don't have a clue who I loaned it out to. It had inserts. You could take the insert out and put an insert in it with your name. Of course, mine's got my name in it. And had a little bitty hole in the middle. Anyway, you make aluminum or zinc knobs with it. And this is my last knob. I'd like to know who has my mold die. I'd like to have it back. It had knockouts and everything. Of course, this has been finished up. You can't see the places where the knockouts were. But anyway, this is my last knob. I want to cut a square hole in that. And one more thing you might be interested in. Of course, most of you don't have tool grinder. I'm not out to buy a bunch of cutters and spend a bunch of money, especially since I'm retired and I got plenty of time. So I just make my own cutter. This is a piece of carbide, spun it down. And with the tool grinder, I put a little 2-flute end on it, so I'll just feed straight down and run around inside, and feed straight down, run around inside, and just take off a little bit at a time. Doesn't have to go very deep. I don't know, maybe 5/16 deep. So I'll just take my time to do that, and climb mill a square hole. So I make my own cutters. Another thing about a cutter like this, you can only plunge mill it. You can't cut with the sides, obviously. But another thing about this, the small diameter cutters are real sturdy. Even though this is carbide, it doesn't need to be, but I just happen to have a diamond wheel on tool grinder. It won't break very easily. If it was a little bitty 90 thousandths diameter end mill with flutes cut in there, it'd be real fragile. This thing's solid, so it kind of pays to have you a tool grinder or some way of making your own tools. Make what some mold makers used to call these fly cutters. You'd run those up against a template or something back in the days before EDMs, and you could do real close work. Whatever you ground your template to, that's how accurate your cutout in your mold insert would be. But that's old technology. That goes back many decades, back before EDM. So you young folks wouldn't have any use for that knowledge. Well, that won't take long. Forgot to tell it to climb mill though. It's taking off so little it doesn't make any difference one way or the other. I need to put some coolant on it. And the hole's so small, I just filled the hole with coolant. It's just got a sloshy mixture in there. I say that didn't take long. Well, it's tight. I needed probably a 16th cutter. I should have made a 16th instead of a 3/32. But anyway, there it is. Now this is going to be light taps. Just wiggle that down. No way I'm going to hit that hard. Don't worry about the bearing. Whoa! Bet that won't be the last time I drop it. Some chips. Oh, there we go. Took an old dental tool, small diameter, probably less than a 1/16 in diameter. Put it in the Dremel, and it drops right on now. It's going to be a lot handier than that wrench. Of course, I'll still use the wrench to tighten the drawbar, but as far as just, you know, screwing it in or screwing it out, this will be a lot quicker. So much for that little project. That didn't take long. I got one more idea for you that I didn't think of in time. Before you take it out of the mill, put a countersink in there and just barely go around and chamfer that. Or make you a special cutter with, say, like a 20-30 degree lead in, and go around and chamfer that before you take it out of the mill. In my case, I want to take a die file and give myself a little lead in, but you know, hindsight's what they say is 20/20. Oh, by the way, there's that little tool. Shoot, that's a small 1/16. Oh, let's see what it is. Tell you what, old dentist tool. Get your dentist to give you his old tools to you. It's 40 thousandths in diameter. Anyway, I went in there and just did the corners with that. It don't need to be that sharp a corner. I'm pretty sure a 1/16 cut or 30 thousandths radius would do it. But so much for that. Like I say, give it a little lead in. You could do that with a CNC mill if I thought of it in time, but I didn't. Now to remove the collet, still use the wrench. Loosen it. Now take that collet out. It'll be a whole lot quicker to drop that on there and just spin it. There, voila, collet out. Or voila, and the slot. Collet back in, ready for the wrench. And use the wrench, tighten it. I'm going to like that. Okay, my last bit of my little idea here. There's always going to be one collet or the drill in the spindle of the mill. So that leaves one hole up there to put the knob in. So whatever's in the, whatever collet or, like I say, the drill bit's in the spindle, then that knob's just going to go in that hole that's vacated by that collet or chuck, drill chuck.